Hey guys! So I have officially survived the first week of phase 3 of skinny jeans. Hooray! As you can tell, it was a close call from the sweat of my brow. I just did another foundations and core class today, which is more cardio, whereas the skinny jeans is more strength training. So I have to say, if I had to vote on which type of class to take, I really prefer strength training because even though it can be challenging, I don't feel like I'm going to die by the end of it. Today was tough, and I don't know, it seemed more tough than usual, and I'm not really sure why that is. Possibly it could be because most of this week of my 2 skinny jeans classes I spent learning the moves, so I wasn't doing as much heavy exercise. So maybe that's the case, or maybe I just worked different muscles or something. I also I don't know, sometimes with foundations it's such a rapid pace and you feel like you're just trying to keep up, and so sometimes it's easy for me to have a hard time focusing and going, okay, what do my back muscles need to be doing right now? What do my core muscles need to be doing? Because you're just trying to keep up and, you know, remember what you're doing in the first place, and then to have to think of all those muscles. And when you do an exercise that's a little bit different, that you're not used to doing as much, the ones we did today, I think there was Russian in the title. Is it Russian squats, where you kind of lean back a little bit and you twist back and forth? There was something about those that I don't think I was holding myself correctly with all the right muscles, so I kind of strained my back. So then when I tried to do the planks and the other core stuff at the end, a lot of it I just couldn't even do because it just hurt. So I'm gonna need to be careful with that. And a lot of the stuff was knee stuff today, so we were doing bird dogs, but I can't go on my knees, so I was doing them the hard way on my feet. But then at the end I got to do, I think it's called dead bug, where it's like a bird dog but you're on your back instead or something. So yeah, it was an interesting day. And it was, I don't know, part of me was just a little bit frustrated because I've made so much progress that I think sometimes it's easy for me to lose track of that. And when I hit road bumps like today, it's easy to go, oh, I'm not improving and I still have so far to go, instead of focusing on, wow, you know, this workout in August, there's no way I would have even made it all the way through it. So I really need to remember that. So the other major thing to report is that I really messed up on my food yesterday for the first time. And it was one of those things where just, I'm really trying to balance. I mean, I felt so awesome after talking to Amy about food yesterday, and I felt like, okay, I can do this. This is great. I went ahead, since I didn't have time to get the nitrate-free lunch meat, I went ahead and tried just doing celery and olives for my snack after when I was on my way in to pick up the girls. It tasted really good. I would have never thought of putting celery and olives together, but it's actually a really cool combination because you've got the salty of the olives balanced out by the more mellow flavor and the crunch of the celery, so it's really good. But it was not any protein, really. I mean, maybe a little bit of protein in the olives. And I had a major crash, emotional fall apart. I mean, not as major as it could have been. Sorry, I gotta switch hands. Whew, this arm's sore. But it was not wonderful. And once I had protein, I felt better. So that was a good experiment. I thought I would try it and see if the olives would be enough protein, but for me, I really don't think it is enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and pick up some nitrate-free lunch meat today, hopefully before I have to go pick up the kids, so that I have that for my snack. But I've always struggled with the balance, you know, figuring out when to be a rule keeper and when it's okay to go, you know what, I'm human and I need to do what I need to do. But I'm just constantly trying to figure that out. I want to get to the point where I don't have to stress about food, which is the main goal. So that's what I'm going to try and figure out over the course of the next couple days. Because like yesterday, okay, after the whole snack incident, we ended up being in town rather late because we had to do some shoe shopping for the girls. And it was dinner time. It was past dinner time. So I was really hungry and kind of shaky, just a little bit, and needing to figure out what to eat. Well, with the earlier phases of skinny jeans, you can pretty much figure out something to eat that's fast foody. Like I'll do a Wendy's salad or something like that. But then when you throw in the mix 3 hungry kids, and you're trying not to spend a lot because we're kind of trying to stay on budget, and so I could have gone to Wendy's and just said, well, I had a little cheese, but it was a salad and it was good for me. But then Wendy's, it's harder to find stuff for the girls there. They, except for Frosties, which we didn't really need either. But then, boy, with phase 3, especially pretty much any other restaurant, there's not a whole lot I can eat. I could have gotten a salad at McDonald's, I guess. But the salads, some of the salads at some of those places are so expensive and they're not all that great. I probably should have just done McDonald's, but the girls really like Burger King better than McDonald's. And so I ended up going ahead and going to Burger King, getting them something, and then I just waited to eat until I came home. Which I was like, well, then I can eat something healthy. Which the problem with that was, as I was divvying out their onion rings and fries, I had about 6 onion rings, about 3 fries. So in the past, I would have had like half of the onion ring container because my middle daughter is the only one who likes them, and so that saves more for me. So I can look at it that way and say, well, I didn't eat as many onion rings as I would have. But it just was frustrating that whole day to have, tried so hard to do the right thing and then blow it with these onion rings, which if you're gonna splurge, onion rings are not a great splurge. And then later, forgetting about the no dairy thing, when I did my Costco run earlier at the end of last week, I picked up one of those jalapeno and artichoke heart dips and spinach, maybe. I don't think it's spinach. Anyway, it's a really yummy dip at Costco. Not the most fat-free thing, but technically, when I was looking at it, not thinking of the dairy part, it's pretty natural overall. There's probably a few things in it that aren't great, but it's got the artichokes and the jalapenos, and it's got the dairy stuff, and it's really tasty. But last night was the first night that I reverted to the whole, this tastes good and I like it and I don't care. And I haven't done that in a long time. So that was a little bit frustrating too. I had a lot of it. And I put some of it into, and that was the frustrating thing is, we're tracking our food, and for one reason or another, I think I had one meal that I did according to plan yesterday, and the rule keeper, competitive person in me just goes, ah. But then I just keep trying to think about what Amy was talking about and trying to keep the food not making the food such an obsession. So just, okay, I messed up some yesterday, so today I'm going to try and do better. And I was originally trying to keep this whole first week as my kind of learning experience and figuring out the food. So I'm trying to kind of keep that mindset right now. So things to focus on next week is just keep trucking on even when the exercises are still hard. I don't know, there was something about the combination of the exercises today too. I was winded, very exhausted. And it's gotten so much easier in a lot of ways, but I don't know, today felt like I'm back to where I started. So just reminding myself, I'm going to have days like that, and that's okay. And the point is to just keep going. And then just with the food, the same thing. Just do the best I can, keep improving little by little, and don't beat myself up or completely fall apart when I have to, have a string cheese, or even if I splurge on artichoke and jalapeno dip, which I will say, if you're gonna splurge, yes, it is fatty, and yes, it is dairy on a week when you're not supposed to have dairy, but hey, I could have had chocolate, and instead I had something that had artichoke hearts and jalapenos in it, which are both good for you, and dairy is technically not bad for you, just not something we're supposed to have. But again, I could have gone to Cold Stone Creamery or Dairy Queen or something like that. So I'm trying to just keep that perspective in mind and just keep moving forward. I totally lost my train of thought. I apologize, by the way, for my vlogs this week. I just feel like when I've been rewatching them, I feel like I'm kind of talking to you like this because I've just been really tired. We've had some really late nights. We had a dress up 50s day for the girls yesterday, and so Wednesday night I was up really late getting ready for that. And just, I don't know, it's just one of those weeks where there's been a school project or errands to run or something that just, I don't know, makes the day more crazy and hectic. I also have realized this week especially, I've pretty much been in town every day except today. Today I went ahead and came home, and it was kind of an unexpected blessing because my workout pants were still in the washer and not clean. So I had to drop the girls off and go back home. And I keep forgetting that when I drop the girls off at 8:30ish and I don't have to go in until 12:15 to work out, it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it's amazing what you can get done. And I really feel like I've just been running on empty, spiritually and energy-wise, just kind of in that crazy merry-go-round whirlwind that I think a lot of us as moms, or even just as women or men, either, also not either, but we tend to just get in the craziness of our society, and we just keep going around on this merry-go-round of just on to the next thing. Oh, now I've got to drop this and go here, and we really try to not have too many activities, but it's amazing how even when you try to keep all those distractions out as much as possible, you still just get caught up into that vortex. So this week especially, I've just felt so burnt out. And this morning, to go home, to actually get a load of laundry done, to take care of some bills and some online stuff that I had to take care of, and just to take that time to read my Bible and pray, which my devotional time I've really been struggling with that lately, just with my schedule. And it was such a good reminder of how refreshing that is when we take the time for the things that are really important. It was a wonderful morning, and I definitely want to make the attempt, at least on these days when I have a 12-something class, to go back home and just have that downtime, because it helps tremendously. So that's another thing that I want to try and kind of focus on in these last 3 weeks as I finish strong, to make sure that I'm also taking that time to not just be going here, going there, picking that up, going to this class, and not having time to just relax and take care of things like dishes and making the beds and all that stuff. Because right now my house is a disaster, and that never helps either. I don't know about you guys, but when my house is messy, I just... it's like everything else just feels like it's falling apart around me. So that's another thing I would like to remedy this next week, preferably. So, wow, this ended up being really rambly, but I think I'm going to go now. So 1 week down, 3 to go on phase 3. Actually, 3 to go total, which is incredibly insane. I cannot believe how fast this has gone. So I mentioned this, I think, on my blog, but not here. I am planning on vlogging my gym vlogs through the end of Skinny Jeans. And then probably at some point we'll do some sort of grand wrap-up, what have I learned type vlog. Just talking about some of the changes that have happened and the things that I've learned through going to the gym. So until then, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back with more gym vlogging news next week. See you later. Where's the stop button?